and the level of excellence expected of the prize is maintained at all times. So, Prof, good morning to you and welcome. To those who have insisted that the right thing must be done, the adjudicators for 2022 Prize for Science, a panel of judges, they've been introduced, but I'd like to especially say thank you to them because it's been an onerous task, we understand, getting to where we are today and being able to come to you to speak to you today. So to our judges, a very big thank you to you. Very good morning. Most importantly, our friends in the media, you're the reason why we're here today. There's no way the Prize for Science could have had the kind of support and widespread knowledge around what we do with the prizes, not just the Prize for Science, literature, literary criticism, but today we're talking about science. But we're here today because we want to share with you how far we've come. And of course, when the chairman of the advisory board speaks, you speak to all the things that have happened. But for us, it's always a great opportunity to share time with the press, what you do for us on the broader perspective as NLNG, and what you specifically do to and for the prize. Really appreciate that. So a very good morning to you and welcome. It's been tough, positively tough for this session, or this round of the Prize for Science, 107 entries. So you can imagine the pressure, the level of debates that will have gone on between the judges to ensure that all the processes that we have are properly checked and we arrive at where we are today. So we are hoping, as sponsors, we're hoping and praying that a winner will emerge today. If a winner doesn't emerge, okay, I'm sure we'll try again next time, but looking forward to what will happen today in terms of those who would win or what the outcome will be eventually. We remain committed as a company to continue to support the prize, the Nigeria Prize for Science, and our support goes beyond just doing it. And this year, I'm sure when the chairman speaks, he will talk about the theme and how we have arrived at where we are going to be arriving at eventually. But for us, we remain committed to supporting the Prize for Science. And all I can say is that we're looking forward to the outcome today. But to mention that we have a website dedicated to the prizes, the Prize for Science, the Prize for Literature, and the Prize for Literary Criticism. So it's a place to go to for every information that is credible about the Nigerian prizes. So looking forward to the outcome of this today, and I would like to now yield the microphone to the chairman of the advisory board for the Prize for Science. So thank you very much again, and have a very good morning.
Thank you very much, Mr. Andy Ode, General Manager, Nigeria NLNG. I'd like to salute my colleagues. Many of them, I mean, the rest of them did actually join us virtually. Dr. Chief Mrs. Nike Akonde and Professor Yusuf, but they are here with us virtually. I equally like to commend this very distinguished board of panelists that have done incredibly good work for us, led by Professor Christian Agbo, Madam Funke Okbeke, and Professor Magajin. We really, really appreciate the work that you've done. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for making out time to join us. I want to be able to start by really appreciating the work done by the Secretariat of Nigeria LNG Prize. It's a coordinated work between the panel of judges and the Secretariat and then the advisory board. So it's really quite a rigorous process that takes a whole year to complete, to arrive at this point. In February of 2022, the advisory board of the Nigeria Prize for Science announced the call for entries for the annual prize, centered on the theme, Innovations in Sustainable Food Security. By the deadline set for submission, we had received 107 entries, the highest number since the inception of the award. The theme, Innovations in Sustainable Food Security, is significant because attaining food security is a key component of our national agenda. At the global level, Goal 2 of the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, seeks to have sustainable solutions to end hunger in all its forms by 2030 and to achieve food security. This entails improving the productivity and incomes of small-scale farmers by promoting equal access to land, technology, and markets, resilient agricultural practices, and sustainable food production systems. A panel of judges was appointed to assess entries submitted for the prize. The appointed judges are seasoned academics and innovators who have wide experience, peer recognition, good public image, and command respect nationally and internationally, as you've seen them. The choice of the judges reflects a multidisciplinary approach relevant to the theme in focus. The entries for the 2022 prize were handed over to the panel of judges for independent evaluation. Each member of the panel evaluated the entries individually and submitted to the prize secretariat. Thereafter, the panel convened, discussed, and harmonized the submissions. The panel was conscious that innovation must be the underlying reason for qualification. To guide the adjudication process, the judges applied an assessment criteria approved by the advisory board as follows: be patented, have academic track record, be of high quality, demonstrate evidence of originality and uniqueness, have significant recognition and awards, be sound, have wide impact, be free of ethical issues, be reproducible and attractive to stakeholders. After significant consideration and objective application of the guidelines and the criteria, the judges recommended 2 most outstanding works on, first is gains in grain yield of released maize, Zea maize L, cultivars under drought and well-watered conditions. That's the title of their submission. The submission by Muhyiddin Oyekunle and Shehu Ado. So they're the first set of winners. And the second winner winning entry as development of process plant for plantain flour by Sesan Peter Ayodeji and Emmanuel Olatunji Olatomiloya. I have to repeat that last name. Olatomilola. As winners for the $100,000 prize money. So the emphasis is that those two entries, each entry has two people who submitted. Sometimes it's one person, sometimes it's multiple people. In this case, you had two people each that submitted the two entries that have won the $100,000 prize. Mihudin Oyekunle and Shehu Ado's work on gains in grain yield of released maize cultivars under droughts and well-watered conditions provides us with a unique opportunity. The maize seeds they selected through a breeding program has been tested to be high-yielding and water stress tolerant. The hybrids they selected records yields of 1.73 to 2.51 tons per hectare in stress areas and 5.6 tons per hectare in areas with good rainfall distribution in farmers' fields against an average yield of 2 tons per hectare available maize varieties in Nigeria in the last 5 years. So you can see there's a very, very great difference in yield, which goes to when we talk about sustainable food security, this is about achieving this. Now, the second winning entry by Sesan Peter Ayodeji and Emmanuel Olatunji Olatomilola's work on development of process plant for plantain flour is important innovation for reducing spoilage of farm products and package for distribution as well as value addition for farm products. It is resourceful in scaling up from batch production to industrial scale continuous flour production, relevant beyond plantain to other food items. Following the judge's recommendation and the ratification by the advisory board, the recommended entries are hereby declared as Nigeria Prize for Science 2022 winners. So while we are excited about having a prize winner for 2022 as against 2020-2021, it is expedient we highlight the high number of low-quality entries that do not meet the requisite criteria to merit the award. This is disturbing, considering the importance of the focus to our nation and indeed our world. The advisory board is optimistic that the award of this prize annually will continue to reinvigorate the passion of growth-burdened and more established scientists and innovators in finding solutions to our everyday issues. We commend the panel of judges for the diligence which was apparent in the delivery of this assignment. We are particularly pleased that in evaluating the entries, they upheld the objectives of the prize as it seeks to identify and promote excellence in utilizing scientific knowledge for the achievement of desired solutions. I also acknowledge and commend my colleagues on the advisory board for their invaluable contributions throughout the process. We applaud the board and management of the Nigeria LNG for instituting and sustaining the biggest science prize in Africa May we give them a hand for this. We hope that other corporate organizations will emulate them as they continue to demonstrate their passion for helping to build a better Nigeria and ultimately Africa. We particularly thank them for their consistency and continued sponsorship of the prize in the face of our challenging economic and social landscape. Finally, our gratitude is to you, all ladies and gentlemen of the press, for publicizing the prize. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Chairman, for that great announcement. Can we please applaud the Chairman for his presentation? So we have winners for 2022 edition of the Nigeria Prize for Science, sponsored by Nigeria LNG Limited. We're going straight into the question and answer session, which is the main reason all you pressmen are here. So we're going to take it in a very orderly format. Please, if you have questions already, can we see your hands? So I have two hands up already. 3, okay, so we're going on with the question. You are going to read out your name, your media organization, and then you'll ask your question.
Thank you very much. My name is Soprochi Onwuka. I'm the managing editor of the Oracle Newspapers Limited. I have followed development and sustained efforts of NLNG in finding solutions of this nature. I've also come a long way with a number of panel members here. But one question we continue to seek clarification for is the objective of this prize. Are we measuring how they are delivering on the economy or in the society? What are the commercial lines in terms of producibility? How do we take the outcomes of this competition to the market? How do we make products out of the research outputs? And I regret that Madam Nike is not here. What is the effort of the chambers in bringing the industry to forums like this? Thank you very much.
Okay, so we have a question. Okay, so.
My name is Dr. Nuruddin Adegbero, editor, Hot News, Niger. My question, part of it has been asked, but this one is so germane. This year, Nigerian Prize for Science, how are we trying to capture basically the students at the grassroots, especially secondary school education? Because I think that basis is my fear. How are we trying to enlarge this to cater for the secondary students, especially in the area of sciences? Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to the third person for his question, sorry.
Yeah, my name is Charles Okonji, the National Chairman of Commerce and Industry Correspondents Association of Nigeria, and at the same time, the editor in charge of business and agric with TBI Africa. Yeah, this is a very laudable event and responsibility that you have taken up for the country, our dear nation, Nigeria, to fight the food insecurity. But then, want to find out, because you did mention, Prof. Sir, the grand prize of $100,000, is it each or for them all? That's one. Then number two is that we also want to find out, how are you going to monitor? Is there any plan in place to monitor the utilization of this fund for the actual purpose? And I rest my case for the now. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Just so we don't lose track, we're going to take our questions in sets of 3. So I would hand over to the chairman of the advisory board right now to respond to the questions already asked before we continue to take your questions.
Thank you very much. The first question by Mr. Omonka for Oracle newspaper. How are we measuring the delivery of this? And it's to either commercialize or industrialize the outcome. So this is these are very relevant questions. You should know that each choice or each winning entry would have actually had demonstration. We do not select something that is still in process. We select something that some innovation that has already had demonstration, and so it is clear that it can be applied. So you don't actually, the NLNG doesn't need to begin to monitor whether they are going to be anything that's going to be done about it, because it should have been demonstrated already, and which is why the panel of judges would have made the recommendation. So that's one. In terms of producibility, it is about impact. If an entry cannot be replicated, applied, then it's not a good choice. So it has to be such that it can be produced massively, and may even be that the methodology, as in the case of the maize, the method can be applied to other crops, not just the maize. And that's the beauty of it. Our goal is always to see that a method can be commercialized. Well, in this case, it is about being able to apply the method to agricultural processes nationwide, Africa-wide, worldwide. That's what it is about, but more fundamentally in our environment. Yes? The second question by Dr. Adeboye is how we are trying to capture students at the grassroots, particularly secondary school. This is a cascading effect. This is a cascading issue because the academicians who do research, for example, must have postgraduate students and have undergraduate students. And a lot of times, what they do can now be applied can now go down to schools, secondary schools. But I would have to have the chairman of the panel talk about that particular one. But I can tell you that in general, that this is what happens. It is highly unlikely that some professor will sit in the university and do work all by himself or herself, that typically the professor or the academic would have to have students, sometimes postgraduate, most of the times postgraduate students, but sometimes postgraduate students and undergraduate students working with them. So that's on that. Then finally, the question by Charles Okunji, whether the price of 100,000 is for each or 100,000 is split. The price, I believe, is split. Yes, because you have just 100,000. It could have been won by one group, but in this case, we found that the two entries selected have different missions in our society. In one, we are trying to, the first one encourages sustainable food security, and the second one is encouraging production of machinery, which, you know, as you know very well, we in this our country, we go outside to buy machines for everything. But in this case, we have a group that has designed machine that does this plantain flour production, and this is quite exciting. So, and that's why the choice of two of the two. It could have been one. Each one could have won it, but the two happened to. We couldn't see how we could deny one that is achieving a very important objective for the country, and the other one, same thing, all in different areas of our desired mission in this area. But it is finally, the award would have to be split. But there was, Charles was also asking how do we monitor the utilization of the funds. It's an award. You cannot now go to begin to ask them how they use it. It's not basic research. It's not like you are saying, okay, I'm giving you this money to go and do basic research so that you come back and tell us the outcome. The outcome, they have already done this, so it is an award for having done the good work. So there is no monitor at all. So as I imagine, although we don't expect that people will be doing it, if they want to go out on a cruise with the money, that's their business. They've already done this work. Okay, so let the chairman of the advisory, chairman of the panel of judges, maybe say something about students, secondary school students, how you propagate this type of work so that it will simmer down to secondary school level.
Thank you, DMD. Thank you, the members of the advisory board, my co-panel of judges. Thank you. The members of the press, thank you for being here. Well, the issue of propagating this to students in secondary education comes in two folds. If it is for the level of research required to compete for the prize, students in secondary education can only hear it when it is advertised, but they cannot be part of it because they don't have the capability, neither the training, to get engaged in it. But they can now aspire to go to a university, not just enter as a first degree student in a university, but progress to finish a first degree, do a master's degree, and eventually a PhD, to be able to do the kind of caliber research that could be innovative and be able to win a prize. So what I think is that in this respect, the members of the press, the way you advertise the prize that Nigerian liquefied natural gas offers to Nigerians or to the world, not just Nigerians, but to the world, determines how the citizenry become aware of what they can pursue in life. It could now turn to be a life aspiration of every young person that if I want to be a good scientist, I can get this prize if I grow in my education, and not just everybody turning out to do Yahoo or to make money immediately. But if you want to grow to be recognized for one particular discovery that you would have made in life, you grow along the line with the discipline that is required to attain that. Then the other aspect is this kind of prize is enormous because, as the chairman of board was saying, advisory board was saying, a professor in the university would always have students under that he takes care of. He supervises, and the good supervision of a supervisor will always breed good results in terms of innovative ideas that will come into place. And that goes forth to explain why, like the entries we have had, of 107 in number, we could, in general, we could only say about not up to 20 of them that could be scored to get good grades that will at least be regarded to be excellent for a win. And I also expect that the press, in this respect, will help to advertise that, because I do believe that it seems most scientists, in most cases, do not get so much involved in social media issue, and also do not get information from social media. Hence, you can be of immense benefit in this direction. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chairman of Panel. It's very important that I amplify on an aspect of what Professor Bo is saying, which is about how the young people in our environment get to aspire to be like the winners very important, that instead of wanting to make quick money or to, when you finish secondary school, you want to become a counselor, you know, that's the sort of thing. Those are the people that appeal to you. You can see somebody who is getting, if it was just this team, they're getting equivalent of 70 million naira because they're applying their brain. And you're talking about agriculture, which is agriculture may not sound so attractive, but here, people who are doing work in it are also just like any other, whether it is doing an app, writing an app, getting Google, they're the same thing. You know? So there is there's some value in tremendous value in the young people seeing someone or a group that's doing very good work with their minds and getting this sort of recognition. And you can imagine that the people who get it are going to apply their money to progress. That is what it's all about. Let me have the general manager further speak to the issues.
Thank you very much, Chairman. I want to just touch a bit on I think it was a question from Chuba? Charles. One from Charles, and the one Sopuchi, I think part of what Sopuchi asked has been touched on, and the one from Nuruddin. Nuruddin's questions around what we're doing to, I think chairman of the panel of judges mentioned or said something about that. Now, so they are in helping to build a better Nigeria, which is what we pride ourselves to be doing all the time when we intervene in areas like this. There's the reward side, which is part of what this Prize for Science does, reward works that have been done to solve some national problems or encourage contribution to improving what's going on. That's the reward side. On the side where we encourage, we have the 3-tier scholarship scheme, the post-primary scholarships, the undergraduate scholarship, and the postgraduate. Interestingly, the postgraduate overseas scholarship scheme, 100%, 99% of those that are supported in the area of science. What do we expect from that? I think last month we awarded scholarship to 10 young Nigerians to go to 2 universities in the United Kingdom to study. We expect that at the end of the day, works that will lead to groundbreaking discoveries will solve some national problems, okay? Now, if you step back to the postgraduate scholarship or the undergraduate scholarship, also over 70% of those that are awarded scholarships are in the area of science. Now, what do we expect? We expect that these schemes will create a pool to push into what's happening today. It's long-term, but at the end of the day, for us, we think that just that little drop of what we're doing to encourage young Nigerians to study and ensure that they do things that will be solving national problems. Even if it is small, we believe that it will go a long way on the long term. Now, interestingly, one of the reasons why we have eminent Nigerians on the advisory board, and today we have very qualified Nigerians as part of the panel of judges. Some of the works that have come out of the Prize for Science over time have been as part of what goes on in the value chain of something is discovered, how do you push it into the market, or what do you do to support? Dr. Mrs. Nike Akonde, her role in the Chambers of Commerce of Lagos, the National Chamber, Nigerian Chamber of Commerce. What will happen after today, like it's happened before, is to present these works, winning works to Chambers of Commerce in Lagos or the National Chamber, Nigerian Chamber of Commerce, and other such institutions, organizations, to at least begin to talk about what's been done. Now, Whether NLNG is going to be responsible for, after the patent, production of, or mass production of what's been discovered or what's been invented is another story altogether. I believe that if you look at the entire value chain, that is where national policy steps in and support can be given beyond what we're doing. But to say that what we're doing today is to reward and give prominence to works that have been done that will encourage others, one, and two, opportunities for improving where we are and solving a national problem. I hope that I've touched on the 2 or 3 questions that I said. So thank you very much. Back to you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much to our distinguished high-table personalities. We're going to take the next set of questions, beginning with
Thank you so very much, madam. My name is Calvin Kambari. I publish Newsgate, Maritime Insider, and I also edit Maritime Nigeria. It's an online platform at www.maritimeenergy.com. Also the Secretary General of the Nigerian Association of Agricultural Journalists, NAJ. My question is, I was thinking that this award is intended to support those, or let me put it this way, I thought that the submissions were like proposals, which the award is meant to back, to bring it to reality or to practicalize. But from what we've heard, it's like the award, like you have said, is an award. You can go on cruise, you can go on tourism, you can go on shopping, whatever you like to do with the award. Is that it, sir? I just want to get it right. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sumi Adiri. I work with Radio Entertainment. My question is...
Sorry, can we hear her? Please, can you start over?
Good morning once again. My name is Sumi Adiri. I work with Radio Nigeria. My question, sir, is how long has this award been on, and how much has been expended so far from the onset? Thank you.
Okay, I believe that question is a public copy already as a journalist, but yes, I'm going to take the top question and then we get the answers. Okay, we're fine. We're good.
All right.
So back to you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Yes, the question, the first question is whether the Campari, I think his name, asked if that he thought this was a proposal grant. Yes, it's not. It's a prize, and the difference is that you award prize for accomplishment, something that is already done, okay, and that you are recognizing the individual for accomplishment. It's the same thing as giving a plaque, the president of the country saying, I give you a national award because of your accomplishment. And for when I received the Nigerian National Order of Merit, it carried a price, monetary value. I'm not sure what it carried, the amount now, but it's same thing. They know. Believe me, when I got it, it wasn't much. It was that's what this is. It's not a proposal, and that's why NLNG will not go to begin to set up an organization or group to begin to check on the outcome of the work going forward. It's expected, of course, that if people had constituted themselves to produce this sort of quality work, that they will continue in the same guise. that the money being given to them can only aid them in making tremendous progress to maybe commercialize the work, maybe get the work out there for the use of the country. That's the intention. It's simply a prize. The second question is, which will of course be answered largely by the NLNG. How long has the prize been going on? I know that I was the keynote speaker on the very first one many years ago, and it was when Atiku Abubakar was actually vice president, and he was a special guest of honor, and Professor Wole Soyinka handed out the prize that day. So I can't remember the exact time, but you can imagine that's how long ago. So I would let the GM, General Manager, speak to this.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman. Where is Fumi? Radio Nigeria. Okay, you're there. So, look, if you want me to be specific in terms of dollars and cents, how much we spent on the prize, I won't be able to do that now. I'll be honest with you on that. I won't be able to give. I'm always very careful with estimates. It becomes a real figure, right? So, but I'll say that we started in 2004, right? And I'll just touch on, just to let you know how we progress in terms of the winning or the value of the amount of money that's paid out to or awarded to winners. So, in 2004, 2005, it was $20,000. From 2006 to 2007, it became $30,000 for each of the two prizes, literature and science. 2008 to 2010, $50,000, and from 2011, it was up to $100,000. Now, if you go to the website, and we can have the conversation after this session, there are years that we didn't have a winner, there are years that we didn't award, but other things happened for all the prizes. So, but on the website, you see all of that. But we can engage after the session on details, right? Thank you very much.
Okay, so that brings us to the end of the question and answer session, and thank you very much for everyone who asked questions.
I know this may not be within your plan, but there is someone here I would like to say something. You know, this prize is doing a number of things, one of which is encouraging young people to become scientists, but also, in particular, encouraging women to be scientists. So, we happen to have the luck of having Madam Funke Obeke here, who has done tremendous, who has achieved so much in the field of technology as CEO of Main One. And what she has done to build this, maybe she can just tell you a little bit of what she has done there, because this is also part of what we would like to have, to encourage young women to emulate someone like her. With your permission.
Good morning, Professor Naji. Thank you, Chairman, Board of Advisors for the NLNG National Prize for Science. And thank you to NLNG for the opportunity to be a member of the panel of judges this year. I have truly enjoyed the opportunity and learned a lot working with distinguished scholars under the chairmanship of Professor Agbo and with Professor Magaji. And truly bringing someone from the industry as opposed to academia in to participate on the panel of judges and evaluate the various submissions we have in the country towards food sustainability and improvements in agriculture. It has been an honor and a privilege, and I appreciate that. And as a practitioner, not in direct sciences, but in applied sciences myself, and the depth of experience in industry, it was really rewarding to see the very top submissions that we had for the award were of high quality, really did match world-class standards, and it shows that Nigerians are indeed applying themselves, and there's a body of work. It wasn't just one paper that they had done, but a series of works over the years, sought advanced degrees, and we're making good strides. And so it's good to see that they are getting recognized and rewarded for that work. I would say to our young women as well, I always say in today's world, science and technology underpin almost everything that we do. And these careers are accessible to young women to pursue and, realize the kind of outcomes. I am certainly hopeful for the day. I don't believe that we have had a female winner of the Prize of Science, but I'm certainly looking forward to one day having a female winner, and I hope the management of NLNG will invite me on that occasion to be a part of the award ceremony when a woman scientist, a female scientist, is being recognized. So that's a challenge to all our young female scientists out there, that this is accessible to you, and that you need to participate, make yourself aware, prepare, and hopefully win this award someday. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
So thank you once again. Thank you to the only lady on the high table representing every one of us, the women. At this point, I'm going to hand over the microphone to the other lady on the opposite side of the table. I definitely left her out, because Madam Okweke was part of the adjudication that led to the winners that we announced today. So on the NLNG side again, I'm going to invite Anne-Marie. She's in charge of public communications and public affairs department to give us the vote of thanks.
So, distinguished members of the advisory board, panel of judges, and our friends from the media, this 2022 edition of the Nigeria Prize for Science has been very intense, with 107 entries received, the largest since the inception of the prize in 18 years. And you will agree with me, it's been a lot of intense work that has gone into us arriving at the outcome of today. So it's very heartwarming for us that we have a winner. We have joint winners, not just one. Nigeria Energy continues to drive its vision of helping to build a better Nigeria through the Nigeria Prize for Science and, of course, the Nigeria Prize for Literature, with the support of the Advisory Board for Science and the astute panel of judges. So I stand here today to say a very warm thank you to the panel of judges for going through all the 107 entries to bring out these deserving works that have been awarded the prize today. And of course, the Advisory Board for guiding the process. I give thanks also to all you our media friends here. Without you, nobody would know about the prize. You've been with us in the last 18 years, giving the much needed publicity that it needs. So thank you to everyone, and to those online who are watching, who are able to join us today. Thank you for keeping faith with us and joining us. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Yes, so that brings us to a formal end of this press conference. But we are going on to have the group photography, starting with the people on the high table. line up for photography. After the photo session, our tea break is still there. The snacks and tea is still very much available for those who came in a bit late. You're going to go ahead to have tea, and then we're going to spend a little while networking
instead of the end.
connecting.
Come and stand next to.
Yes, that's
While we serve for us lunch. So please don't be in a hurry to leave. Don't be in a hurry to leave. We have lunch for everyone in the house. Please, the NLNG group present here, get ready to join the advisory board and the panel of judges for the next session of photographs. So, NLNG team, please, let's get into the photos now.
Okay. Just go ahead and join center. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, please. So for those who haven't written their names, the journalists, the media people who were invited, please, can we have our names all listed here if you haven't written your name, so we can send you soft copies of the materials? Okay, which media?
New Telegraph.